Hi, welcome back. In our last video, we saw how to send the command. In this video, I'm going to teach how to view the commands from the database. Right? How to view the commands from the database. We'll see. Let's back to NetBeans. Now here, this is the function I have created. Get all. Right? Get all. What this function does is we have to display all the commands, right? So here what I did here is this is the form, right? This is the form design. After the form design, I have created the div, right? This div is starting here, closing here. I have styled this div as panel default, right? Inside the div, I have created another div, class panel body. This div is starting here, closing here. In this div, I have named the ID as comments, right? Name the ID as comments, right? The ID is very important. We have identified the div by the ID. We have identified the div by the ID, so that the ID is important, right? We have to create here is comments. This is the ID of the div, right? Inside this div, we have display the comments. Inside the div, we have display the comments, right? That's the stuff we have to do. Okay, all the commands will be displayed inside this div, right? Now here I have created the function getAll function, right? This function is starting here, closing here, right? First what I did here is I have cleared the div, right? First this div, what is the ID of this div? Commands. First we have to clear, right? So how to clear here is, this is the tag, right? Commands dot HTML we have to clear. This is how we have to clear the div, right? After that, after clear the div, we have created the Ajax function, right? Ajax function starting here, closing here. Inside the Ajax function, we have to return the URL this command.jsp. After that, type get data type JSON, right? Here I have not going to post any values, we just get the value. So we have to type mean get, right? It goes to the particular URL, get the data and display here inside the success function, right? Okay, so this getAll function, when the form is loaded, we have to call it. So I have called above, right? Get this getAll function. If you call, when the form is loaded, this getAll function get call, what are the commands there? All the commands will be displayed here, right? When the form is loaded, all the commands will be displayed here. So that we have to call this getAll function at the top here, right? Okay. Now here, let's go to the page command.jsp page. Let's double click and open it. Here first step, we have created the JSON array list object list. We have created the JSON array list array object list. After that, I have created the object of connection con, right? After that, I have created the object of prepare statement PST. After that, I have created the object of result set RS, right? We have created the objects. After that, we have registered the MySQL driver. After that, we have to set the database path, right? My database is reside on localhost. Database which name is ebook. This is the user credential of the MySQL database, right? Root is a username, password is blank, right? We have to set like this, right? After that, I have created the variable query. Inside the query variable, we have written the SQL query, right? Select all from common. This is the simple SQL query we wrote. Select all from common, right? After that, what I did here is I have created the statement class. Here we have to call the execute query, right? This query we have to put it inside the execute query, right? After that, we have to return the while loop. Inside the while loop, we have created the object of JSON object obj we have created. Here what we load all the fields from the common table, right? We load all the fields from the table, right? Here we have written select all from common mean we have load all the field from common table, right? So here we have the first field ID, second one name, third one common, right here. ID, name, common, right? So we load all the stuff, right? rs dot this rs dot get string ID, rs dot get string name, rs get string common, right? We have to pass into the, we have to assign into the variable. Right? First one should be the ID should be here, second name should be passing to this variable, common should be passing to this variable, common variable, right? So this is the JSON part, right? So here this JSON object obj dot put, this is the key, this is the value, right? This key is back to our index.jsp page, right? So here this is a key. What is the, this all the command will be loaded. So here ID should be put into this field, name should be put into this field, command should be put into this field. So we have to this name, this ID we have to put it here, name put it here, ID put here, right? This all things assigned to this variables, right? This key key, right? All the values, right? After that we have written list dot add obj mean is convert as a JSON array, right? This list object we have called dot object, right? After that we have to this all the data we have to send through JSON format. So we have to convert through toString method. It's a JSON format, right? That's the stuff we did here. Now let's test that. Right click, run file. This is the JSON format, right? All the data will be displayed as a JSON format. This is a name, this is the comment, this is the ID. Okay, so all the database table values we have to change it as a JSON format, right? Now this all the data we have to back to our index page, right? We back to our index.jsp page. Inside the get all function, Ajax function is there. Inside the Ajax function we have a Ajax success function. Inside the function we have first we have to checking to the console. So we have to write console.log data, right? For the testing purpose we have to use console.log, right? Now let's show that how to test that. Right click and run the index.jsp page. Here you can see here, right? So here right click and impact console. This console means this console, right? We have tested whether the data is coming or not, right? You can see here. So all the data should be displayed here. This all the data should be displayed here. This is the console, right? Console.data mean inside the Ajax function all the data coming here, data console.log.data, right? All the data coming here. This is a JSON format. Okay, this is a JSON format. All the data will be there, right? Now here this all the data we have to pass into the in this div. We have to pass into the div, right? So how to passing the div? I have written the for loop here, right? For loop here. What is the data? All the data we are getting here. We have to loop it. We have to use the for loop data dot length, right? We have to loop it. Here we have to return the create the variable ID, name and comment. Here I mean this we have to loop it all the data. This one should be I, this I. Okay, so I dot ID mean we have to sending this this data. This is the key value ID, name and comma. The same name we are receiving inside the index.jsp. We are receiving, right? ID, name and comment, right? We have to receiving, right? Receiving and assign to these variables ID, name and comment, right? After that what I did here is we have to get those values and put into these variables. Now here I have to pass into relevant div. Which div we have to passing? Inside this div we have to pass the values. How to pass the value? Here we have to write that div id which is comments dot, we have to write the method which is append. Here we have to inside the append method we have to return the div, right? Div class, we have to style this one as a card header. You have to write the bold tag here. Bold tag means this one. This is a bold. This the text should be like a bold, so that we have to put it here as a bold. Here we have to write this one, this name. What's the name? We have first one we have to display inside this div name. So here's name. This is the header of the header, right? Name, right? After that, this div is starting here. We have to close it here, right? After that, plus we have to return the command. So we have to again we have to write another div. This div class card block, right? You have to style as card block. After that, we have to call the command, right? This command we have to put. What's the command you are receiving? You have to put it here, right? What's the name you are receiving? You have to put this div, right? This how we have to show the all the data into this div, right? This one should be the name, this one should be the command, right? This very simple stuff, right? I did here is very simple. When the form is loaded, if you this function we have to call above, right? Then the what is the command wrote the person, all the command should be displayed, right? If you are going to add the another command, I'm going to write Peter. We have to write very nice, very nice. Click send button. Here the command will be displayed below, right? It's very simple. I hope you guys you understood the programming well. If you have any doubt on this, you can ask me anytime. Thank you for watching. I will be continuing in my next lecture.